And did you guys, thank you, Ashley, for recording. If it was up to me, guys, my head wouldn't be screwed on if it wasn't for Ashley, my assistant. So big round of applause for Ashley. She's like the one running the logistics for this whole shebang. So all right. So I know there are still some people joining, but welcome to day two. If you are joining us for the first time, I'm Arden. I am a performer, a vocal coach, a transformational sound inspirer. And I have 25 years of work as a professional singer, as an opera singer, as a recording artist, and over 15 years of coaching and teaching and running this very transformational work that we do with singers here, so that you are experiencing today. So I have a ton of training. I am conservatory trained. I have an undergrad degree from a very fancy music conservatory and a graduate degree from another, even fancier music conservatory. And after all of that and professional singing that I have done in opera houses around the world and recording studios and stuff, I had to really go outside my traditional training to find some tools that worked even better than what I had learned from traditional training. And so that's what we are all about here is a different way to train, really changing the paradigm for how singers are trained. So I'm really happy that you're here. Celebrate yourselves for coming to day two. If this is day one for you, celebrate yourself for not just throwing out the baby in the bathwater and going, oh, well, I didn't make it to yesterday, so I'm just not going to go. Glad you're here. Um, and so yesterday we did a whole day all about the importance of mind-body connection. So question, tell me in the chat, who did their meditation last night? Tell me in the chat. Who did their meditation? I want to see. Yes. Oh, good. I see Barbara and Maida and Jessica, Fabian, Reed, Lynn, David, Michael, Chris, Stacy. Yes. Jesse, Carol. Awesome. So many of you did the meditation. And I see hands going up. Ashley did the meditation. Mick did the meditation. Nice. Okay. Who also did their meditation, not just yesterday, but today? Who's also done their meditation today or this morning so far? Ah, Jessica is 2 for 2. Reed is 2 for 2. Fabian is 2 for 2. Yes, Diane, nice. Barbara, 2 for 2. Melissa, Lavette, Rachel. All right. You guys are rocking it. Well done on your accountability. Celebrating you for the accountability. Who did their thought exercise? Who did the thought exercise? Yeah. Yeah. You guys did it. Oh, I see it. Thought exercise. Yep. All right. Lara did it. Alia did it. Yep. Nice. Diane, Melissa's almost done. Finish it, Melissa. Get to the end of it. I see Harvey. You said you're going to do the meditation later. Yep. Do it. Time block it, guys. Put it in your calendar. I am the queen of, oh, I'll get to it later. And then like life is in session, life gets in the way. And then I've like done all this stupid shit, pardon me, like, whatever, checking off the to-do list. And the one thing that was like the most important for whatever it is in my day, whether it's my meditation practice, my vocal practice, it still hasn't been done. And now it's 11 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, so time block, guys. Like do the thing first that is going to move the needle the most. Don't put it off. All right. Celebrating you guys for being accountable, doing the thought exercise. Interesting, right? What that thought exercise brings up. Did any of you notice things or have awarenesses that you were like, wow, I didn't realize I was thinking that way? Or did any of you have some moments of like, I'm just being really honest here and I'm like not going to sugarcoat this anymore. I'm going to really like get vulnerable with myself. Did any of you have new awarenesses from the thought exercise? Yeah. Emotional. It was emotional for you, Leah. Yeah. Rachel is celebrating honesty. Absolutely. The most important thing about these thought exercises, guys, is the thought exercise is the bridge. It's a bridge between what you're getting subconsciously in the meditation. It helps bring the subconscious to the conscious mind. So if you haven't done the thought exercise, do it. Don't resist it. Don't say to yourself, oh, I already kind of journal and I already have a therapist. And like, it's not about that. It's about really getting in touch with what's coming up with you with respect to your singing journey, your emotions attached to that, what happens to you when you relate to your voice, right? These are things that we don't often get in touch with. So if you haven't done it, do it. Awesome. So celebrating you all for your commitment, your accountability to this process. Those who really get results in this process are really showing up the following way. They're showing up committed. They're showing up to every class. They're watching the replay every night if they can't come to class. They're doing the homework after every session. They're not putting it off. They're showing up coachable. So what that means is understanding you don't know what you don't know. Being open, being willing to empty your cup, being coachable to do something different. Or otherwise, you're just going to keep doing the same things the same ways, and you're just going to keep getting the same results. So being coachable, empty your cup, do it differently. Those who are getting great results, they are resourceful. So, it might not be easy to get here every day. There's work obligations, family obligations, health stuff might come up, like I said, life is in session and it's always gonna be in session. So get creative. Guys, this is just 1 hour of your day for 1 week of your life to get the tools that can change everything for something that you really, really care about, which is your singing and your voice and your creative journey with it. So being resourceful to show up even when life is happening. You got kids running around, you know what? Call your neighbor and be like, hey, tomorrow I have just this hour that I really need to be present for. Can the kids come over to your house, right? Or like if you have a job and a boss and whatever, just being like, hey, I need 1 hour. Can I stay late so that I can just watch this? Or can I come early, right? It's resourceful, guys. There's always a way for the committed. So conditioning that muscle of showing up to your passion, to your dreams, even when life is in session, because it's always going to be that way. So I celebrate all of you for embodying those things and being here today for day 2. All right. So reminder that we have a scholarship challenge going on. So if you attend every day live in the Zoom this week, you will get to throw your hat in the ring to win a huge scholarship that I'm announcing on Friday for our flagship intensive training program. But to be eligible, a reminder that you need to have attended every day of the workshop live. And we can see if you attend and then you leave. Like we can see how long you stay. So don't think you can game the system. I'm on to you. So then on Friday, we will announce the winner live. All right. Today, we're doing breath support and we have a ton to get to with that, but just a little housekeeping first. A reminder that replay links are sent each day via email and also posted in the Facebook group after each session. The homework link we post in the Zoom, but they are also posted in the Facebook group. So if you didn't catch it on the Zoom here or you're watching the replay, go into the Facebook group. You can get it there. Important, you guys, the replays disappear after the workshop is over on Sunday night. So if you have to miss or leave early or whatever, download the replays as soon as they're emailed to you. We always email them right after the session because they go away on Sunday night. So don't put it off watching them if you have to miss because they do go away on Sunday. A reminder to save your questions. We're going to train first and then answer questions. Have a journal, have something to take notes with, jot down your questions. We can get to them after. Odds are I will answer all of them, a lot of them before you know it. I will be asking for volunteers from time to time, people who want to be guinea pigs to sing or coach on a topic on the breast support stuff that we're going to be doing today. So use the raise hand function. And reminder, this is the safe space. Those who share, those who get up and sing, we encourage vulnerability and we encourage bravery. So we have a zero tolerance policy for any kind of meanness, cattiness, criticism, judgment in the chat, okay? Supportive, safe environment is like really important to me. Original sound. If you're somebody who might want to be a guinea pig, make sure that you have your original sound switched to on. So I'm going to show you if you are on a desktop. This is how you do that. Just because you enabled it in the settings before the meeting doesn't mean it's on. You see my screen? This is Ashley. So see it right here. Original sound for musicians, it defaults to off. So if you want to be a guinea pig in this session, you need to switch that and click the off and it'll switch to on. If you're on an iPhone, it's on the 3 dots in the bottom to be able to do that. All right. That's really important because Zoom does not like lip trills and hisses. It messes with the sound. Okay, so with that, who's ready to claim a breath support breakthrough? Let me hear you in the chat. I'm ready. I'm wearing my breath support outfit and I'm going to go one step further today, guys, which is I'm just going to go to like a plain white wall background today so that we can because sometimes, so this is my studio, but I'm traveling right now. I'm not in my studio. So like if I go like this, you don't, oh, now you do see me. Well, whatever. I'm going to get rid of the background so that you can see me even more clearly so that we can talk some breath support. All right, here we go. Let me just get rid of this. All right, it's my very plain wall so that you can really see what's going on in my support when we talk about this as we get started. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let me close this window and close this window so that I can concentrate on you guys. Okay, so I am going to give you all of the concepts here up front. I want to train you on the whole picture, and then we'll get some of you up here to train on embodying it when you sing as some guinea pigs. So I know you're going to have questions as I'm going through things. Just hold your questions. Let me give you all the concepts up front, and then we can, spot check things. Okay, so this may seem like kind of a silly question, but why is breath support so important? Now, yes, you need breath to sing, and we need to make sure that we're comfortable and sustained while we're doing that. But truly, the reason that breath support is so important is because 90% of the issues that you experience when you sing are actually breath support issues. Tension, breath support issue. Stamina, high notes, breath support issue. Agility, ad libs, breath support issue. Mixing, transitioning registers, passaggio, pitch issues, if you're flat, if you're sharp. Yep, most of the time, when we fix breath support, the pitch issues, the transition issues, the passaggio issues go away. Strain, inconsistency, vocal fatigue, breath support issue. Confidence, breath support issue. Because if you have confidence issues, then career issues if you're trying to do this or want to do this professionally. Because if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not confident, but if the reason you're not confident, 90% of the time, guys, all that inconsistency and nerves is because you don't have a rock solid foundation for your breath support. You don't feel supported, so you're not confident. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of the foundations. Because if we're going to fix all those things, tension, stamina, mix issues, high notes, pitch issues, you name it, then we got to address this pronto. So let's do it. All right, first, we're going to talk about the anatomy of support, okay? So when we think about breath support, most of you know that we think about the diaphragm, right? Like how many of you have had voice teachers or coaches or whatever who have said, use your diaphragm? Hit me in the chat. How many of you have heard that? Use your diaphragm. Okay, yeah. But how many of you actually understand where your diaphragm is and how it works? So let's talk about this for a second, okay? Diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle that lives in the base of the rib cage, and it's like a bowl, okay? It looks like this, and it sits right up there in the base of your rib cage. So if you were to literally saw me in half and take my top off, you would see this dome-shaped muscle right there, okay? And this dome-shaped diaphragm muscle is what separates your thorax, where your lungs are, from your viscus, where your intestines and your stomach and your liver and all the everything else is, okay? Diaphragm is what sort of bisects the two parts of your torso. When you inhale, this dome-shaped diaphragm gently inverts to become a bowl to make room for all the lungs that are filling with air. And it is this now bowl-shaped diaphragm that gently returns back to the dome. And it's that action that moves and pushes the air up out of your lungs that then passes through your vocal cords, that vibrates your vocal cords for sound, for speech, or for singing, or whatever. So the thing about the diaphragm is that we don't have a ton of nerve endings in the diaphragm. So it's very hard to feel, which means that when voice teachers say use your diaphragm, it totally twists singers up into knots because you're trying to like manipulate and like use this thing that you can't even really feel. And so singers just like have no clue what use your diaphragm really means. And so I want you to just like disavow that entire concept of use your diaphragm. Okay. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's out of your mind. Yes, the diaphragm is extremely important for the production of sound, but it's really hard for you to feel like you have any control over it if you're focusing on it specifically. Okay. So, and yes, what Zach is saying is it is sort of an involuntary muscle. Okay. You can't consciously control your diaphragm to do much of anything, but what you can control are all the muscles around your diaphragm. So your six pack, your rectus abdominis muscles, your obliques, your transverse abdominis, the lower back muscles, because this dome shaped diaphragm tucks in to all these muscles in your abdomen and in your back. And those muscles affect what happens to the diaphragm. Okay. So breath support is actually about the muscles around the diaphragm that support the diaphragm to stay low and move slow. Because guess what? If this diaphragm has inverted when you inhale, if this diaphragm is being pushed up by all these muscles contracting, going, right? If these muscles contract and push, then that diaphragm is going to be pushed up and it's going to push all the air out of your lungs and you're going to be out of breath. The sound is going to be airy. And odds are you're going to get into a lot of tension because you don't want that. And so now you're trying to support, meaning control the amount of air in other places, namely your neck, your jaw, and your tongue, to kind of create a dam to prevent that massive flood of air because nothing was supporting the diaphragm to stay low and move slow. That is what the muscles of support, that is their job, is to make sure that this diaphragm only gently moves slowly and low as slow as possible because we don't need a lot of air to sing. Contrary to what most of you probably do without realizing is you push so much air, you don't need a lot of air to sing. We need the exact right velocity of air, meaning speed, and the exact right volume of air, meaning amount. Okay, with the exact right speed and amount of air, it is a very narrow, very steady stream that is required to vibrate the vocal cords in the most efficient way. Think about it. If you have a giant flood of air, like if you think of a flag in a gentle breeze, you have a beautiful, nice, regular oscillation. But if you have a flag in a hurricane, what happens to the flag? Right? It's like it doesn't do this. It goes bleh, right? And so for most of you who don't sing with efficient, consistent breath support, your diaphragm moves up way too fast, pushes out way too much air, and there isn't the exact right volume and velocity of air passing the cords to vibrate them the most efficient way for the most beautiful sound. So when we talk about breath support, what we're really talking about is how we use these muscles to support the diaphragm to stay low and move slow so that it creates the exact right speed and amount of air that moves up through your vocal cords, that creates the exact right, what we call subglottal pressure, that vibrates your cords in the most efficient way. So just get that breath support is not about your diaphragm. It's about the muscles that support your diaphragm. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. So let's talk about where these muscles are, and I want you to feel them. So first, what I want you to do is I want you to put your hand like right where your ribs part, right here down your six pack muscles. And I just want you to pretend like there's a dog that's making a lot of noise. And I just want you to shush the dog. And I just want you to feel what happens under your hand. So shush the dog. Shh, shh, shh. I need to turn my original sound on. See, after all that, I don't have my original sound on. There we go. Okay, here, come back here. Shush the dog. Shh, shh, shh. And if I move my hand, you can see these muscles engage. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, now, hands on your obliques, which are these side muscles right here. Like if here's your hip bone, right kind of in front and going on the diagonal. Same thing, shush the dog and feel what happens under your hands. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, now same thing. Transverse abdominis, low, right above the pubic bone, below your belly button. Shush the dog. Shh, shh, shh. Feel what happens. Okay, all of these muscles are activating, and when they do that, it takes the diaphragm that's inverted because you breathed, and it moves the diaphragm just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, to move just a little bit of air that creates the shush. And same thing in your back body. So feel it in your back body. If you find where your hip bone is, and you find where the bottom of your ribs are, and that soft spot in between, put the palm of your hand right there and shush the dog. And you'll feel, it feels a little bit different back there, but you'll still feel like a boop, boop, like as you shush, okay? So in feeling these things, what you're feeling is how those muscles move the diaphragm to create the little bit of air that comes up when you go shh, okay? But what's something that's really important for singing is that the direction of the engagement of those muscles really matters. So you can engage muscles in two ways. You can contract those muscles. So me contracting the muscles of my belly, the muscles of support, looks like this. Shh, shh, shh. That's a contraction. I'm contracting the muscles of my hand. I can also engage the muscles of my hand into a flex. Flex the muscles of my hand. Contract, flex. I can do the same with these muscles. So me contracting the muscles of support, shh. Me flexing the muscles of support. Shh, shh, shh. You see how it flexes this way instead of contracts that way, okay? We only ever want to flex those muscles of support. Why? Because the contract moves the diaphragm too much and we push too much air out, and then you get that flood. And if you're doing that over the course of a phrase, it's way too much air, and now you're getting into all the problems: tension, pitchiness, strain, all the stuff that we talked about, okay? So finding that flex instead of contract is really, really important. So put your hands back on your obliques. I find it's easiest to find in the obliques. And I want you to pretend like you're gonna shush the dog, but I want you to shush the dog into the palm of your hand, into your obliques. And you can see it if you watch my obliques, you can see them fire, especially if you look at the sides of me. Watch. Shh, shh. You see those muscles go like this, okay? Shh, shh. So put the shush right into the palm of your hand and really see if you can get that distinction between contract and flex, okay? So concept number one for today, as far as breath support is concerned, is that breath support is about the muscles around the diaphragm that support the diaphragm to stay low and move slow. And to that end, we want to, concept number two, flex the muscles of support, because that then just moves the diaphragm just enough so that I'm just moving a tiny bit of air, shh, shh, instead of the contract, which is shh, and all these muscles contract and they push the diaphragm up way too much, okay? So breath support is about the muscles around the diaphragm, supporting the diaphragm to stay low and move slow, and the direction of the engagement of those muscles is to feel the muscles flex and not contract. Okay, so now let's pause on that for a second. We're just going to put a pin in that for a second, and we're going to talk about the inhale. So let's talk about the anatomy of the inhale. So when we think about the inhale, we think about the lungs. And what I want you to get is that your lungs are in your back. Most people, when they think of lungs, they think about what's happening up here. And yes, our lungs are here, but if you think about the shape of your rib cage stops here in the front because your ribs are there to protect your lungs, and your lungs stop here in the front. But your lungs go all the way down into the back, which is why your back ribs go all the way down, okay? So you have more lung in your back body than you do in your front body. So when we think about the inhale, I really want you to get present to your back body. I hate when I hear singers be like, well, breathe into your belly. Breathe into your belly. I get why voice teachers will say that, because most singers breathe into their shoulders until they know better, and they do, right? We don't want that. So I get why people do that. Unfortunately, however, telling a singer to put their breath in their belly is misguided, because then what the singers end up doing is they just end up pooching out their belly and trying to go, and you still don't get a good inhale for that, okay? Because ain't no lungs in your belly. And we all know this intuitively, right? So don't focus on your belly. Send the breath into your back. And so I want you to feel this by doing a ragdoll exercise, okay? So what you're gonna do is you are going to see, I'm wearing my yoga clothes today because I really want you guys to see everything that we're doing, okay? So you're gonna gently hang, and you're just gonna find a nice, gentle bend in your knees, and you're gonna let your head hang heavy, and let your arms pull out your shoulders, let your head pull out your neck, and just find that dangle like a rag doll. And then you're gonna breathe into the muscles in your back. You're gonna visualize the breath going into the back and up towards the ceiling, and do it on a nose breath. And if you watch me, you can really see my back expand. And then I let it go. So do a few breaths like this. And let it go. And so really use this to feel the sensation of the breath in your back. And then roll up. And even though you're standing now, or in my case, if you're sitting now, you're gonna still imagine that you were ragdolled, but you're still gonna put the breath into your back. So if you watch me, you can still see everything expand. Now, I could keep going. That's the shoulder breath that we don't want, okay? So visualizing that if the breath goes above your armpits, you're over breathing. It's too much. So again, I can do a nice life breath into my back, and that's it. I don't want to keep going, okay? So that's a pitfall to really look out for, okay? So concept number 3 for today, your lungs are in your back. Use the ragdoll to feel that. Don't pull it above your armpit, which brings me to concept number 4 for today, which is that the inhale is a release, okay? Don't take, I hate that phrase when we say take a breath, because that implies a doing, a violence, a grabbing. And if I take a breath, watch what my body does. And now I'm all up here and I'm all contracted, okay? Instead of let the breath come in. You guys, you don't have to take a breath. Physics will bring the air into your body on its own. So remember the law of physics from high school? And I was talking about the law of entropy yesterday. Now I'm talking about the law of equilibrium. This is all just based in science, guys. And unfortunately, most voice teachers, they ignore science and they teach people things that are just not what your body was built to do. Your body was built to breathe. And the law of physics, the law of equilibrium, states that the pressure of a gas wants to equalize on either side of a membrane if the pressure of the gas is not equal on either side. So if the air pressure on this side of the membrane is different from the air pressure on this side of the membrane, the gas wants to equalize, right? That's the law of equilibrium. It's just high school physics. So when the air pressure inside your lungs is different than the air pressure outside your body, because it's time to breathe, all you have to do is release. Let go and let your body open up. And if you make room, that air will come in. You don't have to grab it. Most singers are so fixated on taking the air and grabbing the air, and then they use their throat and they do this. And now what you've done is you have closed the space in which the air could have come in, because that sound, that is created by you trying to grab the air and constricting your trachea. And so now you've actually gotten less air than you would have in your effort to get more air if you had just recognized the air wants to be in your body. The air pressure outside your body is different than the air pressure in your body. The air wants to be in your body. You don't have to take anything. You don't have to do anything. All you have to realize is that you get to release. So release your jaw, release your throat, release your ribs, release your belly. And you will get way more air than if you tried to, in quotes, take a breath. So no more taking breaths. Let the breath come in. Release your support, release your belly, release the throat, and just allow your body to create that space, and the air will come in, and you will get more that way in a quicker period of time. Okay, so now we're going to put these two concepts together, okay? You release on the inhale, just like we were talking about, and then you flex your muscles of support when you go to phonate. But before we phonate, I just want you to feel this on a hiss, like a snake sound, okay? And so we want in a hiss to teach our body how we support the movement of air over a duration. And so to do this, we need to understand what I call the container of support. So we were talking about these muscles a minute ago, but we haven't talked about the ribs. So the thing about your ribs is the ribs are very heavy bones of the body. And if we let these ribs collapse, then these heavy bones collapse, and this diaphragm that has gone like this, when the bottom of your rib pushes in, it pushes this diaphragm up. And now you've pushed out too much air. So we want the ribs to get out of the way, get out of the picture. And so we need to understand how to, what we call float the ribs or create buoyancy in the ribs. So what I want you to feel is what it can feel like to move air with these muscles flexing and not either inadvertently collapse the ribs or not actually use the ribs to push air out. So here's what this looks like. If you watch my body, let me back up a little bit. So if I'm doing a hiss efficiently, I'm flexing out into my container, including my ribs. I'm not letting anything compromise my container. So here's what that looks like. You notice how just rock solid I am? Here's the wrong way to do it. Ribs collapsing, belly and abdominal muscles contracting in. You will be out of breath in 3 beats if you do it that way, okay? So what we're talking about is moving air over a duration, and how we do that is by being efficient and only making the diaphragm move a tiny, 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 tiny bit. And the way we do that, so I want you to imagine that you have a belt around your rib cage, or ladies, you have a strapless bra or a strapless bathing suit that's fastened one size too big. Or if you're a guy, you have a belt around here, it's fastened one size too big. And you got to fill out the belt. You got to fill out the bra. Okay? And then you're going to hiss, and you're going to gently flex these and flex up here like you're hissing, and you're not going to let that belt or that strapless bra fall down. See if you can do it. Okay, so this is the beginnings of apoyo. Okay, so don't let these fall down. It's about consistency. Don't give it all away at the beginning. If you do this, you're done. Okay? So you can put one hand around your back body and one hand on your oblique. Let your shoulders relax. Okay? And breathe in. Let your belly soften. Breathe in to your hand. Find that back body ragdoll breath. And then when you go to hiss, hiss into both hands. And you'll feel, like, connect your brain to your hand. And if you feel this collapsing, like, you'll feel it right away. So this is a really good way to sort of monitor what's going on, okay? So when you are flexing into your hands on the hiss, and it is time to breathe, release the flex, release the engagement. Remember, the inhale is a release. So you have to release all that when you're done with the hiss to let another breath come in. Okay, so a couple of pitfalls here is the focus of support is not the middle of your belly. Okay, the focus of support are the muscles that are around this. Don't focus here, because then what you're going to do is you're going to try to pooch your belly out, and that's not support. Okay, so hands on obliques is a really better way to do it. That feeling of hissing down into your palm, okay? Another pitfall is don't go too far at leaning out into the ribs, because then you're gonna get into like kind of like a, and like it feels like all tight and it's all, you know what I'm saying? So it's a feeling of, I can't even do that, it makes me cough. Excuse me. It's a feeling of moving through the ribs, leaning through the abdominals, that feeling of moving through rather than flexing and holding, okay? So the other thing is just making sure that you understand that by the end of a hiss, like if you're gonna, or sing a long phrase, or you're gonna hiss, 10 beats or something like that, by the end, the ribs, they will gently eventually fold in a little bit. But what we're aiming to do is prevent that from happening for as long as we can. But just to know that that is natural, okay? So if you're 60 to 70% of the way through your air capacity, at that point you will slowly, gently feel these ribs come in. But we want to prevent that from happening for as long as possible and as dramatically as possible. Okay, so now from the hiss, we are ready to put some vibration on it, okay? So this brings me to concept number 7. So just to know that everything we've done here, practice your hisses. Practice this feeling of hissing without collapsing, of hissing into a flex rather than a contraction, and then releasing on the inhale. So concept number 7 is now we're gonna put some sound to it. We're gonna phonate with it. But the one thing that you need to know is that you need to support before you phonate. So what that means is that engagement of that flex needs, in your container, needs to happen a second or two before you make sound. So watch, I'm gonna demonstrate, watch my muscles of support, and you will see that these flex into the container before you hear the sound for the exercise I will phonate. So watch. Me. Flex first, okay? So this is hard to get, but it is absolutely essential, because if you do not flex before you phonate, then you have started to sing without support, and you're gonna get into all those you're gonna get into the tension, the strain, the flooding, all the things, okay? So eliminating those is understanding we support our way into our sing. We do not start singing and then sing our way into our support, okay? So I want to take the hiss idea into a lip trill idea. We're gonna support before we phonate, but do not change how you're using your body into that flex, just because now we're going from a hiss into a lip trill. So a lip trill, just to be clear, is a propeller lips, like, okay, that's a lip trill. I want you to go back and forth from a hiss to a lip trill and not change how you're using your body into that container, into that flex. So it's release the body, receive the air, engage, and then hiss. Hands here to make sure you're not doing that, okay? Now, watch. I'm going to go into a lip trill, and my body and the way I'm using my support is exactly the same. Okay? It needs to be exactly the same, because if we change, just because all of a sudden now we're phonating, now we don't have support. We don't have that thing. You guys, things that support things are things that are consistent. The legs of the table support the table because they're there. They're not like doing like this. Everything would fall off the table, right? So we're going to do a 1-5-1 lip trill, meaning we're going to go from 1 to 5. I'll do it a little lower first. 1 to 5 to 1. But just because we're changing pitch doesn't mean that feeling of gently flexing into our support changes when we change pitch. So watch my body. 1 single pitch, 2 pitches. You don't see me go. That's what most of y'all do, is you push your support to try to push the air, to try to push to the next pitch, and it sabotages you. So be very conscious of do not change support when you change pitch. That is concept number 8 for today. Lots of concepts today, okay? We want to lean and gently flex through these muscles that you felt on the hiss over the course of the 1-5-1 of the lip trill. Do not change that gentle and that consistent support just because you're changing pitch. What most of y'all do is you do this. And each time you change pitch, you're hitting your support, okay? That would mean that you're on and off support every time you're on and off the pitch. But is that consistency? Is that stability? No. And what do we know? The things that support things are constant and they are stable, okay? So practice your lip trills without changing your support just to change pitch. It's the consistency of the support that matters, not the whack and the strength of the support, okay? Things that support things are stable and consistent. And you can put your hands here and feel it the same way you did as the hiss. Hiss and into your hands, lip trill into your hands. Okay? So a couple little pitfalls with this is don't really, sorry, I have like 50 things I'm going to tell you guys and they're all like bouncing in my brain. One of the pitfalls with this is focusing on your lips to start the lip trill. Your lips, this is not where we start the lip trill. This is where we start the lip trill. This is your gas pedal. This has to go first. Again, watch, you will see my support engage before you hear the sound. Okay, so the lip trill starts there, not here. Those of you who are going, you're all up here and you're not down there. So that's the first pitfall just to be aware of. Second pitfall is sometimes it can be helpful is to think B instead of a P. Instead of get out of that, think B. And then put the B right down here, like your little bees, and you're just going to tap these bees and let them come out. Okay? All right. So we understand the flex, the appoggio. We understand, because that's the thing, you guys, appoggio means to lean in Italian. In Spanish, apoyare, right? That's the same thing. It's the root. It means to lean. And that's what we're doing in this support, which is we're gently flexing and then we just continue to lean into this container of flex over the course of the entire, whatever it is, lip trill, phrase, hiss, Okay, so we understand that. We understand that the way we get consistency is do not change support when you change pitch, meaning do not mess with that flow of lean. You're leaning on, you're off, you're on, you're off every time you're changing pitch, okay? So now we're gonna take these concepts and we're gonna add syllables onto them. But again, do not change how you're using your body. Your mind is gonna wanna convince you. It's gonna wanna tell your body, uh-oh, now we're singing. Now we're singing, me, may, ma. We're singing. We got to make it sound good. And all the things that you discovered in your thought exercise last night and all the ways that you don't want to fail are going to come in because now we're on syllables. Now we're singing. And all the habits of make, force, do, manipulate that have sabotaged your support in the past are going to try to come back. But we are not singing right now. We are just vibrating on pitch. Okay, so we're gonna do a simple exercise, a simple ma, mo, moo scale. Ma, mo, moo. Okay, or we could even make it a triad right now. Ma, mo, moo. It doesn't matter how many pitches you're singing. The concepts are the same. So get present to the moment of your body for a second. Come back to that feeling in the meditation of when you're present and you're noticing your body. You're not in the spin of your head. You're in the moments of your body, which is always in the present moment. Direct yourself to use your body in the exact same way you did in the lip trill and the hiss, and use that progression to set up how you will use your body. So you're going to lean on the hiss. You're going to practice the lean on a lip trill, and then you're going to practice the exact same lean on a mambo moo scale. So it's going to be hiss first, then lip trill, then mambo moo scale, mambo moo. And I am not changing my body, and I'm not changing how I'm using my body just because now I'm on syllables. So I want you to visualize when you're doing the lip trill, it feels like one thing. When you do mambo moo and you do a scale and now you're articulating melody, your brain is going to want to think, oh, it's 5 different things. And you're going to want to go, which in your support, and you're going to want to go, mamo. And we lose consistency of that apoyo, of that flex, of that lean, okay? So I want you to visualize like you were a violin player and it was a single bow. Mamo moo. Do not take your bow off the string. Mamo. Or do not, right? It's not 5 things. It's one thing because down here, it's one thing. Mamo moo. Okay? The lean is gentle and consistent. That one flow. Okay? And then when you're done, release the body. Remember, the inhale is a release. So don't forget to release the lean when you breathe. And then come back to the present moment of awareness in the moment of singing and ask yourself, did I lose my lean? Where did I lose my lean? Let me put my hands back on myself. Let me notice, what am I feeling? Okay? All right. So I gave you a ton of concepts just now. Let's see how you're putting this into play in your body. Who would like to be a guinea pig to coach on this? Use the raise hand button. All right. So I see Mitt was the first person that I saw. So Mitt, go ahead and unmute. Hey there.
Hi.
Do you have original sound says on?
Yep, I believe so. I mean, I'm on an iPhone, so I couldn't really see through the 3 dots how to do that.
Okay, so I may or may not be able to hear you do a lip trill then if your original sound,
Well, the 3 dots on my phone are not showing an original audio feature, so.
Okay, let's try something. Just do a lip trill for me. Just motor. Okay, I can hear you fine, so we're not going to worry about it. Okay. So stand, no sitting allowed. Stand up. So you guys, when you're learning this, it's just really way better to do it standing because you can't cheat. Like you just can't cheat at all. Okay. So take like 1 step closer to your phone so I can see you a little. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. So Let's do a hiss for a second. So let's just see how you're playing with the hiss. So let's just do like a couple 4 or 5 beat hisses in a row. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I see your body. I see your body being pretty consistent. Okay. So now let's do the lip trill. What's your voice type? Are you tenor, baritone? What's your voice type?
I'm like a tenor.
Okay. So let's do it here. Not too high.
Okay.
So we're going to go.
Wait, I might maybe a little lower.
You're doing it in my register. I want you to be in your register.
Okay.
I can't say that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are you in falsetto right now, or are you in your full?
No, I'm
Okay.
in my full voice.
Okay. So let's do it again and take just a step back because you're cut off just a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Good. All right. So let's do one more time, and we're just going to do a couple in a row. And what I want you to visualize as you're rising in pitch is I want you to visualize that what's creating the rise in pitch is the gentle increase down and out of this flex. So I'm going to exaggerate it, but watch what happens when I rise. Did you notice how things just kind of like flexed a little more? Okay, so
yeah,
you gently increase your flex. That is what is making the pitch rise. Can you play with that?
Yep.
Okay, so you did it on the way up, and then to get down, you dropped.
Okay.
You dropped. Okay, so you guys, remember what we say. Do not change your support just because you change pitch. And that goes with changing the direction of pitch. So just because we're descending, don't abandon ship. Keep moving and flowing through that gently. Do it again. Go up a half step. Okay, so you notice how it almost poops out on the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is super common, which is like your brain is like, cool, I'm almost done. And so body's like, cool. And then it,
Yeah.
So don't be done until you're done. If you are phonating, you are flowing through that lean. Try it again. Go up a half step. Okay, wait, but I still want you to come down.
Okay. So.
Good. That's it. Good. Connect to your back body. Yes. Do you notice how when you connected to your back body, things were like more grounded?
Flowing, yeah, better. Definitely.
Yep. Yep. Let's do 1 or 2 more. Okay. So when you go into head voice, the desire is to want to change something.
Right.
And when you watch the recording back of this, you will see it change. I'm going to exaggerate, but it kind of did this. You kind of went from this to kind of trying to pull it this way and like keep going in that direction. That is what's going to facilitate an easier transition between registers. Do it again.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, but you're now kind of singing from here up. Get back down into that low place that we just found, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Don't be afraid of that embodied sound, Mitt. What does that feel like to you? How does it feel different than what you did a second ago?
It just feels more confident.
Yeah, but see, this is where mind and body really matter because it becomes a feedback loop because you're using your body and you're stepping into the moment of your body, which then all of a sudden makes you feel more confident, which then all of a sudden makes you feel more to go into the grounding of the body, which that's where the consistency lives. So what do you think it is that stops you from fully going into that embodiment?
It's the breath.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the breath.
But here's the thing is that when I asked you to do it and I said, can you lean lower? You did. Your body knew exactly how to do that. It knows how to do it. but there's
Yeah.
something that stops you from asking it to go there. What could that be if you had to guess?
I would think it was just like some sort of mental tension or block. I'm not really sure.
Okay. So we're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna
Okay.
give you full permission to claim your, what I call owning your time and space.
Okay.
Like grounding your feet. This is your time. This is your stage. This is your space. And
Hmm.
let's just do a few lip trills where you get to fully send that energy all the way down into your feet and claim that space in your lip trill. Do it. We're going to go down a little bit. Yeah. Go further. Go like set, like imagine that the lip trill is not coming out your lips, Mitt. It's going out between your legs. Like you don't have a mouth here. You just got a mouth between your legs. Send it out
Okay.
between your legs.
Okay.
That again. Right. So when you go into head voice, mind is going to be like, oh no, we can't do that. Like head voice is up here. No, it's not. I mean, in the resonating space, it is. But in your power, don't change where you're sending it. Do you notice how
I
on that
see.
one you just kind of
Yeah.
hedged a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah.
No hedging. Go towards the thing that scares you.
Okay.
Pay attention to how this feels and how you're using your body. Your job is to get to know the feeling of the good sound so that you can recreate the feeling of the good sound, not the sound of the good sound. Don't listen to yourself. Feel
Okay.
what this feels like so you can, and this goes for everybody, not just Mitt. Okay, you can come, but you notice how when you came back down, it kind of pooped out, right?
Yeah.
So you guys,
Hmm.
lip trills are essential because the vibration of your lips approximates the vibrations of your vocal cords. And so it tells you immediately if your lips, if the vibration changes or poops out, tells you immediately that something has changed in your support. Okay?
Right.
That's why
Right.
lip trills are the best for work in your support. So do it again and don't be done before you're done. Just because you're coming down, continue that feeling. Okay, so now we're going to take this feeling, this grounded consistency, and you're going to put it on a mamo moo. But just because we're doing mamo moo, Mitt, do not change how you're using this, okay? So let's go back here. And you're going to go mamo moo, okay?
Okay. Mamomu. Mamomu. Mamomu.
Okay, good. I'm going to invite you to be gooier between the pitches. So you're not totally sawing your bow on the string, but it's also not one bow right now either.
Mhm.
So can you overdo right now, slurpy gooey slide between pitches? And don't worry, I'm not going to make you sound sing slurpy forever. But right now, ma, ma, mo. Because right now you support this pitch and you support this pitch, but I lose you a little bit in between. And we get
Mhm.
just a little bit on and off. So can you use that slurp and slide right now?
Yeah. Mamomu.
Yeah, so you get to slurp in and slurp out. It's like, think of crying through the pitches.
Okay. Mamomu.
Uh-huh. Can you siren into the lean of your body and go, ma? Just siren in.
Ma.
Yeah, don't worry about articulating pitches right now. Just siren. Ma. Connect to your back body and siren.
Ma.
That. Did you notice how that was easier?
Yes, much easier.
What did you
Mhm.
notice in your body? You guys know, you guys recognize how I'm constantly asking him, what did you notice? What did you feel? What did you notice? Not once am I asking him, what does it sound like?
Yeah.
Pay attention to the feeling of the good sound. So what was that as you did that?
I felt like this, like the bowl, like you said, kind of like opening up and just kind of releasing.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you need to do that even when you're articulating. Let's go up because you're a little bit higher. Let's go up here. Mama, slide, slide.
Mama,
Do it on a siren. Ma.
ma.
Okay, so why do you think it's easier to keep that bowl when you siren, but not as much when we're in the articulation?
Because of the I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It's
Okay.
because mind is thinking of this as 10 different pitches
Right, right.
instead of one thing.
Got it.
Okay,
Yes.
so you use your hand. Let's bring in a little somatic work. Use your
Okay.
hand, and I want you to bow one single bow. Mama! Draw through the pitches, okay?
Okay.
Try it.
Mama.
Yes, that's way better. Do another one. Yes, egregiously gooey, Mitt. Egregious. Like you can't take this too far. We can always dial you back, okay? Yeah, but right now you're a little on autopilot. Right now your hand is kind of following your voice instead of your voice following your hand. So get present and follow your ma, ma. Draw it. Yes. Do you feel how you just changed to two different pitches, but you didn't change anything in this mechanism? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. Great guinea pig. Like this is how
Thank
you got
you.
to practice this, okay? Because
Thank you.
this is the thing is that most people they don't know how to feel the support and they're constantly changing it because they have all these notions that either teachers who just don't know what they're talking about have given them or that just they've never really gotten present to what's going on in their body to know what's efficient and what's not. Okay, awesome. Big hand to Mitt. All right, let me go back and see. All right, the next hand I see Rachel B. Where's Rachel B? There you are. Hey, hey.
Hi.
Okay. So let's see how you're doing. Are you able to tilt your screen a little bit more so I can see a little more of you?
Trying my best there.
That's all right.
That
Okay.
good?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Good. So let's do some hisses and just see how you're doing on the hiss. So let's just do a couple hisses and really connect to that feeling of it releasing into that container and then leaning to continue that container as you hiss. Okay, so I didn't actually see a whole lot of like release and expansion. I don't know if you felt it, but I didn't really see it. So let's do an inhale. Let's just do an inhale. And I really want you to connect to your back body. And when you did the ragdoll, did you feel the back body expanding when you did the ragdoll breath?
I missed it because I got booted out, but
Okay. So fold over and dangle like a ragdoll. Let your knees soften and just let your head hang heavy and dangle, okay? And do a nice big nose breath into your back. And really feel like you're sending that breath up towards the ceiling. Yeah, do a few nose breaths like that. Yes, and make sure that you keep your head and your neck nice and heavy and soft. Good. Now roll up. Now, even though you're standing, a couple more nose breaths into your back. Feel it the same way. Okay?
yes, expansion.
Yeah, you feel that. So that's what was not happening a minute ago. Okay? So like you can really see it because you can see my shoulder. Like you see it all go here, but what I'm really thinking about is this because the majority of my lung is back here. I'm still nice and buoyant and open here, right? So that's the release of the inhale that we really want to feel. So that's what's going to start this is a release on that inhale and then everything that we were just talking about, lean into that for the hiss. So let's do it again. So if you want to monitor it, I don't like this because this is we really want to feel the back ribs and the lat. So see if you can wrap around like under your bra line. Yep. And then just let the other arm relax. Or you could put it on your oblique. And just relax. Let your shoulders relax. Good. Now breathe into your hand. Breathe into your back. Yeah, you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you're going to breathe into that. And now when you hiss, you're going to continue to hiss and feel like you're putting the hiss into that hand as well. So breathe in and then hiss. Good. Do a few more. Okay, but do you notice how it wants to collapse the longer you hiss, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to resist. That's what the lean is there to resist. So we don't go, but instead we go, see how long you can hiss, and don't let that imaginary strapless bathing suit that's hooked one size too big fall down. Because if you don't lean into it, we're going to see everything, okay? Do it again. Yeah. What does that feel like to you? What do you notice? What?
Consistency, smoothness.
More consistent, okay? So that's the feeling. So now do a lip trill. So do one like we were down here. Good. And you did a really good job of what I was coaching Mid on, of not changing that feeling just because the pitches are changing or we're ascending or we're descending. So now let's do a couple different places in your range. Do it here. Good. Let's do up here.
Wait, what was the pitch again?
That's okay. So find your back. Find your back. Same thing. You guys, this has to be really intentional right now because otherwise you're going to go into habit. So find that inhale that we just found. Okay, so now same thing. Don't change that consistent feeling. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more keys. We'll go down, we'll go up, but connect brain to body and see what you notice. If it feels like you're pulling away, if it feels like you're locking, or if it feels like you're continually leaning and flowing through. Let's do one a little lower. Good. Good. Let's go a little bit higher. Yes. Let's go up here. Yes, very good. Okay, what is the distinction for you? Because I want you to be able to find this again in your own practice. Is there a sensation, an image, a feeling, how you're using your body?
Just thinking more expansion from the back and continuing to think of I like the speed bump analogy, like you're trying to go over a speed bump, but you want to maintain consistency and smoothness.
So wait, in this analogy, what's the speed bump?
The pitches and not trying to overblow as you ascend.
Okay. I get it. And I'm going to ask you to take that one step further, and I'm going to ask you to visualize a totally flat road, because your mind has already assigned pitch to be something that is an interruption. Just mirroring back, right? So we don't want to think that pitches are anything that we would need to, pitch doesn't exist in physical space. We do, but pitch doesn't. High is not up here. Low is not down there. We exist in physical space. And so when we think we're changing pitches, we think, and I get it that you don't want to do anything to go over that speed bump, but why don't we just not even see it as a bump? Why don't we just see that all pitches are here? Like everything is right here. So like take your hand. I'm big on using hand and somatics and stuff. Take your hand. No speed bumps. This is all right here. It's a train on a track. Go for it. For my money, that was even better than what you did a minute ago.
That's an easy range.
Okay, so do it up here. Okay. So that one, I think you must not have your original sound turned on because I didn't get that one. But what I didn't see though, I didn't see you micromanaging. But what did it feel like to you? Because that's the most important thing.
It was a little harder, but
Okay. So
wasn't singing.
so
So
this is what I want you to do. Instead of going this way, I want you to visualize going this way. So all the muscles of the support. So ribs are here, but all of the muscles of support, I want you to visualize you have like an elevator going down, okay? And this elevator does not stop on each floor, okay? So it's ma, okay? Or we were up here. Ma, okay? Direct it with your hand. One thing. Ah, wait, stop. Hold on. Do you know why I stopped you?
no, help me out.
Okay. So, guys, I stopped her because she started to phonate before she supported. And I know that for two reasons. I know that. Number one, I know that because she started singing and her hand was not moving. You started here, ma, and then you started to move about 2 notes in. So, number one, your hand is always mirroring subconsciously what your body is doing. Number two, the way I know that is because I saw a little bit of neck get involved to try to start that pitch. And that's probably why these higher pitches don't feel as easy to you because you're not low enough in your support. And so this is coming in just ever so slightly to try to start that pitch. Okay, so let's do the thing where you start engage before the M. So if you watch, you're going to feel ma. Go like a quarter note early. Just do it on the initial pitch. Don't even worry about rising, okay? And this is what's going to start it. Ma. Uh-huh. Yeah. It sucks because I can't hear you. I don't know why.
What if I come closer?
Maybe try it. Yes. Okay, so now, if you're rising, you're lowering. And this is directing these muscles to gently lean down as you go up. You need to go lower. Okay, same thing I was telling to Mitt. Try it again. Okay, now do the scale. Go up, but down to go up. Okay, what did that feel like to you? What'd that feel like?
Better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more supported, it's more engaged. So just reminding yourself that you got to go deeper. You have more available to you and direct yourself in that direction. Okay, good. All right, guys. I have time for one more. I know we've gone a little bit over, but I'm cool to stay. Let me just check one thing. Ash, what time is my call? Can you just tell me so I don't like go too late? All right. Let me come back to my screen here. Okay, next hand I see Christina Johnson's hand. Christina, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. But I can't see your face. Make sure that you tilt your screen a little bit higher.
Your call is
Okay.
at 4 p.m. Mountain Time.
Okay, thank you. All right. So do you mind just having your t-shirt so I can see more of you? Okay, cool. All right. So let's go straight to the lip trill and see, how it's going. All right. So let's go back down here. Okay. No, you're not alone. You are not alone in this. All right. Okay. So this is what's happening to Christina. So first of all, any others of you in the chat having trouble even like getting it started, let me know in the chat because this is common. This can happen. Okay. And oftentimes the culprit of it is that you're doing two things. You're focusing up here and trying to like all up here. And because you're focusing all up here, this is getting neglected. So you're starting it from here instead of down here. And this is all just kind of contracting, contracting, contracting. Okay. So let's go back to just feeling what a flex feels like first. Okay. So forget about the lip trill right now. Let's go back to a hiss and let's find the flex. Okay. So in that sensation, and I want you to do the same thing that we were just doing. Wrap your hand and one hand on your oblique. Okay. So you feel your back body. Okay. So first of all, find that expansion. Same thing that we were just doing. So breathe in. Yeah, you feel that? Breathe into your back. Yes, you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
first of all, that did not happen a second ago when you breathed through the lip trill. Okay? Okay.
Yep.
But this is important, guys, because if we don't create that expansion, you got nothing to lean into. You got to create the container so you can lean into the container. Without that, you're already contracted, and now you're trying to go poo, 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 and I can't do a lip trill that way either, okay? So first things first, I want to put hands back just where you had them, okay? Breathing in and finding that expansion, and now hiss into that expansion to continue it. Yeah. Do you feel that? What is that? Can you describe that? What does that feel like to you?
I think the releasing first, because immediately when I get on camera or I get in front of people, I'm like that.
Okay.
So then like just like literally being like, oh, I can relax my body. It's not a bad thing to do, right?
Okay, but this is like case in point, right? Which is mind body. So what is the story that you think? What's the story that your mind tells you as to why, on camera or in front of people, like what would happen? What's the chatter in the brain around that?
I'm going to screw up and not do well enough in front of people, and then therefore it's just going to be a block for me to want to go out and do it again.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, how many of you relate? I guarantee you, Christine, you're not the only one. How many of you relate to that? Tell her in the chat, right? But this is case and point, like textbook mind body, because with that story going on, then now your body wants to self-protect. It's girding itself literally here, here, here. And so you don't release on the breath. And so anything that happens after that is dead in the water. Doesn't matter how much technique you know, because the minute we released, your body was like, oh, I know how to do that. You know what I mean? Right? But if we don't address these two things together, so something shifted in that moment where you were able to say, okay, I can do this. Like, what was the new, what if you had to say, what was the new belief that maybe popped in that maybe you were conscious of, maybe you weren't conscious of, but that allowed you to just kind of, oh.
I think hearing it again and explaining it again and being like, oh, I need to follow that. I don't need to go into another mind space. Just being here, right?
Okay. So I'm going to give you another thing to chew on. Okay. Which is, so if you had to say, like, what could you notice or maybe appreciate or be willing to believe about either yourself or just this circumstance we are all in, this nature of this Zoom, or just the nature of the world in general, that would allow you to feel safe releasing in front of people, in front of an audience, regularly?
Just saying I'm capable.
Okay, so knowing you're capable makes you feel safe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And if we really think about it, right, because the monkey mind, I call it the monkey mind because it's just constantly, like they say the mind is like a monkey, it's like an untrained monkey. If you take your eye off it, oh my God, it's the best quote, I'm gonna mess it up. If you take your eye off it, it's gonna pee on your furniture and shit on your walls or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's how it goes, you know what I mean? So let's, because you were able to do that in the moment, but you don't really know what you did that allowed you to get there. So I want to bring that to conscious mind so that you have a belief, you have a reframe that you can breathe into when you're in front of people that centers you immediately. Okay? So the old belief is I'm in front of people, I'm going to embarrass myself, it's not going to go how I want, like everything that you just said. Like I'm going to, where does that land? I lose what I have and I don't get what I want, I mean, because inevitably, guys, that's the thing. We're just all worried about losing what we have and not getting what we want. And so I'm not going to do that in front of people. I'm going to self-protect so that I don't have to experience that failure. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, we need to reframe failure. It became safe to fail in that moment because I was coaching you and I was giving you, we were bouncing back and forth. And now we're in experimentation and we're in curiosity and it's safe to fail in that moment. So you were able to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what's a new definition that we can give to failure that might allow you to not have to protect from it or be scared of it?
It's a way to learn.
Okay. So there is no such thing as failure, only opportunity. Yes. Either I'm going to get it right, great, or I'm going to get some data that's going to allow me to do it right the next time I do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you guys, if Christina doesn't reframe failure, it's not about lip trills. It's not.
It's not.
Did you get this, right? It's like, and so there are teachers out there who are going to try to train lip trills and they're going to give her the body and they're going to give her the breath and they're going to give her all that stuff. And intellectually, she's going to understand it. And then she's going to get up in front of a group. Like I guarantee you, intellectually, you understood what I was telling you watching all of this for the last 40 minutes. And then she's going to get up in front of the group and it's going to sabotage because she doesn't have that peace that allows her mind and body to work together in that moment instead of sabotaging each other in that moment. Okay, so let's play with that hiss. And I want you to skip over the lip trill for a second and I want you to go from a hiss to a siren. So you're gonna go from a hiss and you're gonna go in your body, that same feeling. And then you're gonna go, ah, just a chest voice siren, okay? But before you do, what's the belief? What's the intention? Breathe into that. So say it out loud for us.
Opportunity.
Yeah, like be specific, you guys. Transformation happens in the specific. So failure is, there's no such thing as failure. There's only data. Or opportunity is failure in a dress. You know what I mean? Like
there's no failure. I only have opportunity, and yeah, I'm capable.
Okay. So because she needs to say it in her words. It doesn't matter how many times I say it, right? So you have it in your words. Now that's what you're breathing in. So when you release on the breath, you're releasing into trust. You're releasing into that. It's so much easier when you're like, right, there's no such thing as failure, so now I can breathe, okay? So do it, and then you're going to hiss, and then you're going to ah, with the same feeling that you hissed.
Okay. Let's see here.
Good. I should have been specific. Breathe in between them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my bad. I should be specific. So hiss, and then let another breath release come in, and then lean into a siren, okay?
Ah.
Good. Now, mamomu. Right on it.
Mamomu.
Good. What did you notice? What does your body feel like?
Sweating because I'm nervous, but it feels more relaxed. Like I don't feel so as tense basically. And then I'm aware that I need to push here, or not push, but
we're gonna say
that I flex,
lean.
Flex.
Yes. Okay, so go even further with your feeling of siren. Ma, like watch my flex. Ma, you can see me going like that flex. Try it. But keep hands here because I want you to be really present. So that's where you're putting it. Wait. Wait, time out. Okay. Do you know why I stopped? Do you know I was stopping? Okay. Okay. Because brain hopped right in. It was like, oh, Arden asked me to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. And the breath was, it wasn't the release. Okay. So for a lot of you guys, like old habits die hard. Slow your roll. Set the intention before you do it. And if you don't take that time, you're just reiterating habit. Okay. So it's like a lot of talk, and when I'm working with the singers in my program, we talk about what's the quarter that gets you the gumball. What's the quarter you're putting in that gets you the gumball? You didn't put in the quarter this time.
No.
Quarter for you is that centering moment where you breathe into the trust and you release, because there is no fail.
Yes.
Okay. So as you're practicing, if you're not practicing putting in that quarter, if you're not practicing setting that intention, you're practicing habit.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. Good. So good. I really celebrate you for being vulnerable and
Thank
putting
you.
yourself in on camera. All right, guys. So I know there's so many of you who want to get up here. We're going to do a couple of probably bonus days this weekend where we can get into more of this, but we have homework tonight with all of this stuff. Okay. So Ash, please put the homework link in for tonight's homework. So I'm giving you an MP3 for the lip trills, which are the, okay, so it's an MP3 you can practice with for the lip trills, and also for the mamo moos that we were doing. Okay. This is really important concept that I want you to get, guys, which is that you practice does not matter. And this is exactly what I was just reiterating with Christina. That you practice doesn't matter. That she does the siren doesn't matter. It's how you practice that matters. Practice the how, not the what. So that's what I was telling Christina. The how is the mindset, the intention, right? Practice the how, not the what. Don't listen to yourself. Feel yourself, okay? And so tomorrow we're going to build on this. Continue doing your meditation each day. Right now, you've got half the equation. I want you to think about it this way. You've got your anchor, but you need your sail, okay? So tomorrow, I'm going to give you the other half of the equation, and I'm going to teach you all about the shape of resonance and opposition, okay? So that's the other half of the equation. This idea of opposition is the rocket fuel for the consistency that you want. This is the ammunition that taps you into the maximum potential of your sound. So you've got a great foundation now with the tools for rock solid support, but it's not enough. We're talking about bridging the gap from good to great here. We're talking about standing on top and owning your sound and owning your confidence and getting to the next level of opportunities that you want with your singing and opportunities that you can create with your career and your sound. And so you need the rest of this. It's not just about breath support. Without breath support, nothing else, right? But now that you have it, now we need to stack on this with the ammunition that's going to get you the consistency that you want. So tomorrow is all about the shape of resonance and opposition. Do not miss it. We will get to Q&A. I'm gonna do 2 bonus days this weekend because I recognize all the questions that we have, and I really want to be able to get to that, and I want to be able to get to some of you, especially if you want me to check in with you. So just know that if you didn't get to coach today, or if I didn't get to answer your question today, number 1, you can always put it into the Facebook group if you have a question. Number 2, we're gonna do bonus days this weekend for those of you who have remaining questions and things that I'm gonna get to. Okay, everybody. Good work. Celebrating you for showing up, accountable and coachable. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.